I'm filming this video because I feel like a lot of people my age or younger are either not taught or don't know basic money habits. I also didn't know a few of these a few years ago, so in this video, we're going to be talking about what you should be doing with your money when you first get that paycheck. This should save you a major headache if you do it while you're young. Hey there, welcome to Venture with Jazzy. On this channel, we talk about credit cards and how to make better financial decisions. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing. When I got my first paycheck, I wanted to spend it all because that was the first money I was making. And I do think it's really good to reward yourself, especially after landing that job because it's a major achievement. But after a while, you do need to start thinking about where you're going to be putting this money and if you should invest in it. But before investing, I do want to say that surprise expenses do pop up. And that's why I put the emergency fund at the top of this list. You should have an emergency fund because you never know where life will take you. Something like medical expenses, car fixes, or even unemployment could always happen, and you need some extra cash to handle that. As for how much money you should save, it really varies from person to person. If you're just starting to make money, just try to save step by step and work your way up. I'd like to say that the rule of thumb is to save 3 to 6 months of your regular expenses. That includes rent, food, and some daily necessities. And you should be putting that in your savings account. And that leads to the second on this list, which is to get a savings account, but not just any savings account. You should be finding a high yield savings account. So you definitely don't want to let your money sit into a checking account because most checking accounts don't offer any interest rates. On this aspect, letting your money sit in a checking account is actually making you poorer. With today's inflation rate of 6%, if you have $10,000 sitting in your checking account, then every year you'll be losing $600, and that's crazy. It is better to overall invest that money, but sometimes you need to have that liquid cash like in your emergency fund, and so you should be putting your money into a high yield savings account. Some of these high yield savings account can get you up to a 4% annual percentage yield. And although this is not beating inflation, it's still a lot better. Number 3 is to open a Roth IRA. As soon as you start making money, you should be opening a Roth IRA, and there's no age limit. This is one of the most important accounts to invest in because you are not taxed on the money that's being placed in here. The thing is, you're only allowed to be putting up to $6,000 a year, now starting in 2023, $6,500 a year. And so if you're waiting on getting this account, you are really missing out on a ton of money. Now, there is a huge difference between someone in their 20s starting to contribute in their Roth IRA versus someone in their 30s. Let's say a 25-year-old starts to max contribute into their Roth IRA. By the time they're 67, they'll be a millionaire with $1.12 million in that Roth IRA account. On the other hand, if someone age 35 starts to max contribute to their Roth IRA, by the time they're age 67, they will only have about $626,000 in their Roth IRA account. So they are literally, with that 10-year difference, missing out on $400,000. And so I get it, a lot of you may not be able to max contribute into your Roth IRA, but contributing $50 a month is a lot better than not contributing any money at all into this Roth IRA. As for me personally, what has worked is I have been putting an auto transfer from my checking account to my Roth IRA, so then everything is balanced out and I don't just see that $6,000 flying away at the end of the year. But do what works for you. If you like to just put a lump sum of $6,000 into that Roth IRA at the beginning of the year, that's totally fine. But just like I mentioned, just try to contribute as much as you can. Number 4 is to get a credit card because having credit is really what gets you through life. If you have good credit, you're able to get a good mortgage, car loan, and it can save money on interest rates. And you'll want to start early as possible by getting your first credit card. I know some friends in college, they were really thankful that they started their credit card when they did because they were trying to apply for an apartment. And if they didn't have that credit history, they may not have been able to get that apartment. Number 5 is don't worry about which stocks to pick. This one personally got me super nervous when I was just starting out because I heard that if you put your money in stocks, there's a chance that you can be losing all that. And so this really got me scared and I didn't even want to try. But now I realize that the key is not to concentrate on which stocks to get if you're a beginner and not really sure what you're doing. Investing in stocks is really the only way to get you to beat inflation because, like we said earlier, if we put our money into a high-yield savings account, we're still losing money due to inflation. And so the stock that I'm recommending is the S&P 500. Overall, this stock has been outperforming the market for years and is a great stock for beginners. If you didn't know, the S&P 500 contains about 500 of the US's largest publicly traded companies. And so it's really great for beginners because due to its diversity, it basically spreads the risk of one stock falling while the other stocks are rising. And so it's almost impossible for all of these top companies to fall at once. That's why the S&P 500 is really not so volatile. One suggestion that I'd make is to go with dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is an investment strategy that a lot of people have been using and is great for beginners because it basically takes out all the emotion into putting your bets on stocks. Dollar cost averaging is an investment strategy where you invest the same amount of money in the same stock at regular intervals over a period of time, regardless of price. There have been studies that show people who do dollar cost averaging do better than those who pick and wait for the stock to be right, because you never know when the market will go down and you don't know the future. So do this method if you're just starting out. Number 6 is to make smart spending decisions. If I were to go back in time, I would have told myself to really think about what I'm spending, especially clothes. Though I'm not the type to buy anything designer or spend a lot of money, I do think I've wasted a lot of money on things that are fast fashion, clothes, or anything else. I think it's really important to be thinking about what we should be spending money on. So for me, what has really been helping is to kind of ask myself a few questions like, do I really need it? Does it go with my closet color palette? And will I be using it a lot in the future? Does it suit my lifestyle? And it's just really hard to let go of that mentality of seeing the product, wanting to buy it, and then just kind of going for it. But I found that if I really want the item, I'll just wait a few days, and if I still remember it, then maybe I'll start thinking about, okay, does this really suit my lifestyle, and so on. But chances are I'm gonna forget about the item, and that kind of indicates that I didn't need it. Number 7 is to start a new income stream. Now, I know for a lot of people, this is a little bit difficult because if you're concentrating on just your job, you don't really want to be taking any of your free time out of your life to be making money. But I do think anyone can have multiple income streams. Having another income stream is really good because job security isn't really a thing. You never know what can happen. And if you're able to, finding a passive income stream is even more better because passive income streams allow you to make money where you don't need to be present. For instance, I have a few friends, they like to take photos, they put their photos on Shutterstock, and people buy their photos. They make a lot of money. So maybe that can be one idea. Or if you're good at coding, maybe you can make a website. And then of course, there's always the idea of YouTube that is a no-brainer. And as for other income streams that I've come across, there is Fiverr and also usertesting.com. As for Fiverr, at the beginning, I thought that maybe only creatives can really do this, but I actually found that there are some people who are making money reviewing resumes. Now, I think that can be done by anyone as long as you're good at writing or you kind of know about what resumes should look like, so that can be an idea. Another thing is usertesting.com. I have utilized this, so basically you get paid by reviewing websites and apps. I'd say that the downside is that a lot of these websites and apps, they do have kind of a demographic requirement, so you can't really find all the work that you want. And the last on this list is to invest in yourself. I'd say this is a really important point because the more you know, the more you can get by in life. If you're able to, try to get that degree or even get a certificate because you never know where your knowledge could take you. I know that a lot of people, they have gotten their degree in college, but they ended up taking another path in life because they had this small skill set that they didn't realize that they really wanted to build upon. Later on, they built upon it even more and they realized, oh hey, I'd rather go in this route rather than just the degree that I pursued in college. And I've seen that there are plenty of certificates out there that are free, like Coursera. You can get financial aid, almost get a free course by just applying for their financial aid, so that's a great idea. And even something as small as reading books can really be a good investment in yourself, because reading books, it helps you to improve your vocabulary, it kind of trains your reading muscle. The writer, they put so much time into writing out their thoughts, their experiences. That is a really good way to invest in yourself. And finally, I'd say that investing in yourself does go beyond just the scope of money. Investing in yourself has to do with your mental health and your persona. Meditation has been one of the greatest investments I've made in myself because I feel like I've become a better person. It improved my mental health and just my overall interaction with people. I practice Falun Dafa, which is a meditation exercise that has to do with your mind and body. This one, you not only do your exercises, but also you follow the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. This has really improved just the overall way that I interact with people, how I view life, and just made myself a more positive person. I really think Falun Dafa can benefit anyone, so if you're interested, I'll put this link into the description box. Everything's free, so just check it out. If you made it to the end of this video, I really thank you a ton, and I'd like to ask you in the comments, what are your favorite investment strategies? What's your future plans? I'd love to know, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, give me a like, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.